Hello and welcome to Africa in Demand, your gateway to everything Africa. I always like to make sure that people know that our guests are also incredible people that are speaking to something that they've not only studied but also experiences you've been to. So.
Most of the discord comes from just a misunderstanding.
Don't give excuse to things that you are supposed to be doing.
The truth is really finally starting to come out.
Africa in Demand, your gateway to everything Africa. Hello and welcome to Africa in Demand, your gateway to everything Africa. I'm your host, BC, and I'm so excited for you guys to join me for another show where I get to speak with people within the diaspora that are just doing big things and making changes all over the world. My guest today is not a stranger to Africa in Demand by any means. We met many years ago, probably back in 2009, and I remember hearing his music and just really being moved. And, today we get a chance to talk about the things that he's been working on. The artist Jumbo, we're so excited to have you on. Thank you so much to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And man, just like yesterday, I remember we having a conversation like 2009. Wow.
Yeah, and it feels that long ago, but it also doesn't, right? But I'm so excited to be talking to you today just because I've been following your music literally since the first time that I heard it. And I've always been so impressed by your passion and just the type of music you put out, but more so than that, you've been working on so much stuff.
Yes. It's been a journey. I mean, of course, I never stopped because I always knew that there's a fire that was not just for me, but for the nations, for the world, for the kingdom of God, and for humanity at large. So thank God I'm still here, and I'm never gonna stop. Thank you for having me back here again.
Oh, it's so exciting. Our pleasure. So let me ask you this question, because I'm not even sure if I asked you this back then when we had you on Africa in Demand, is where, or should I say, when did you know that this is something that you were meant to do? Like when did you first discover that?
My life has been a journey. From the last time we spoke till now, things have changed. I've gone from not sure, walking on waters, to now I know. So I was born into music. So I've always known that I am passionate, I'm gifted with that gift of music. My dad was a choir director who also liked to play. Actually, he taught me my first instrument, which was the flute and the harmonica, and so I was born into music. It's like my daughter right now; she plays too because she's born into music.
Yeah.
So I've always known that I have something special, but as far as being an artist, where I'm going to be on stage. That also has been a journey because I started off playing the trumpet, and then to writing songs, and then actually singing them. So it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Look, so that was the first. My first discovery was me knowing that I have something special. Then the second phase was me knowing that I was called to more than sing, but minister in songs, So why I was it, because when I was here the last time, 2009, I wasn't clear about what I was supposed to be singing about. So it was just, just sing about this, sing about love, sing about people. But now it's more of gospel. So, yeah.
So you feel like somewhere along the line, you knew you had this gift in you, but somewhere along the line, it became more clear and more apparent to you that this wasn't just something you loved to do, singing. You said you grew up in a musical family. Did you grow up singing in church, or was this just like something that you did at home with your family?
Oh, yes. I grew up, it was something we did at home, but then it was something I did at church because I was at age 7, 8, I was already singing in the choir. I would go for choir rehearsals, and I had such a unique voice at that time, where I would sing with the kids, the kids choir, and then I also sing with the adults choir even while I was young. So it was something I grew up doing in the choir.
Doing in choir, yeah, that's amazing. I remember seeing you perform live at Jesus House in Washington, D.C. Well, no, in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yes.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. I could tell that this was definitely a fire in you, just because through your music, you also ministered. Now, you know now at this point that this is a calling, and it's not just to sing, but to minister through music. And I see a lot of projects you've been working on and the intention of that, right? So this is what you do full time, right?
Yes.
This is what you do full time. And I'm always curious, and I ask people this a lot, especially of African descent, when you find a purpose and passion that goes against the grain. How was the support from your family, your immediate family, outside of the community that has grown to love your music, when you first decided that this is what you wanted to do? Because I'm assuming there was something you were doing other than this before.
There was nothing I was doing outside of this. This has always
been the goal.
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I was playing with different bands, jazz bands, and traveling with different artists, playing not gospel music, playing in the club, playing in the lounge, and just playing secular music, what we call secular music. And I was getting paid, making money, and doing all of that. I was actually doing that in Nigeria before I moved to the US. So when I moved to the US, I even the visas that I got and everything was for me to come do music here. And
that's amazing. That's amazing. You've stayed this course, and it's grown. It's just, grown and developed and been more intentional, but this was always it for you. Music was it, and you knew it. And even though you did it in different variations, it just evolved to you now being your own artist with your own vision and drive for it.
Yes.
You've been working on a lot of projects, though. I remember your last project, which is when you came on the show, and since then, now you've come out with the new project that you released a few months back. Tell us about that.
Actually, since then, I've done 3 other albums, 3 other projects, and it's not even just the projects, the albums that can define what I've been doing. I've done way more than the project. Like
you've traveled, I know that you've traveled all over.
I do a lot of, I've done a lot of traveling, and I've done a lot of collaborations with other artists, other projects, and so on and so on. So currently now I have a project called Pages, and so unique. I believe it's one of my best projects so far.
I agree. I agree.
A lot of people,
from what I've heard, I'm so impressed.
Yeah, a lot of people may not agree, but I know that for me, spirituality wise, just the work that we put into it, risk too, is just doing such an amazing project in the midst of pandemic. It's just another story. It's just a whole something that will bless people. Yeah, because
I saw a little bit of the making of that, right? And where did you make that? The album itself.
That was in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
At a warehouse. So usually people go to the studio to record, but I had this impression in my spirit to get. Now let me rewind. Let me go back a little bit. Now we had a situation, pandemic. We are all afraid. And I'm not talking about like in recent times where, of course, we kind of understand a bit of how the virus works. Then it was fresh. Nobody knew what was going on. There was no vaccine. So everybody was still afraid of everyone, So I had this impression in my spirit to gather some friends who had been I mean, majorly impacted by this virus. Let's just gather together and pray and sing, worship, just enjoy the presence of God. And it was risky because this is actually when I put out the post on my Instagram, and when I put out the post, 2 days I had about 300 and something people.
Wow.
Who registered that. I said, if you want to be a part of my next project, send an email to this email and I had over 350 people. I was like, we're in pandemic. There's no way you can't even gather 25 people. Talk more of 350. So
that's impressive.
I started vetting people that, okay, I can do maybe 40, 50 people. And now everybody wanted to be a part of it. So how do I do this? Anyway, we went through that phase, and then we arrived at the number that are on the video, and we just met every other week, and then every time we met, I mean, God blessed us because someone sent us a test kit. So we had this rule that, okay, everybody had to get tested at the gate, at the door before you, just so we are safe. Everybody was tested every rehearsal and every time. And I mean, it was just amazing. This was amazing. It's been maybe 2 months or less, and the impact already has been amazing everywhere in the world, like everywhere.
It's such an impactful project. Just watching it, I'm going to go back to Why Pages, first of all, because there's a story right behind every song. But Why Pages, but just watching that video, which, I'm going to show a clip so that the audience can see it. You could tell that everyone was so involved and so moved by the words that they were saying and the passion behind the words and how they were singing it. I watched it a few times when you had shared it with me, and I was just like, wow, this is an amazing project. I want to know the story behind it. So you feel this in your presence that this is something you want to do. Why Pages? What made you call it Pages?
Okay, so 2 years ago, it was gonna be like one of my best years in music so far, because from November, my year then was I was supposed to go from South Africa to Ghana to Europe to Australia I had a whole tour lined up, and this was well-paid event and all of that. So sometime around December, we started to hear about a virus in China. And, of course, nobody would expect that a virus would shut down the entire world.
The world,
not a state, not the entire world. So, nobody was expecting it. So it happened. I thought, okay, maybe for a week or two, we're back to normal. A week became a month, came 2 months. We were shut in. And I was watching my events just being canceled. Okay, sorry, we can't have this anymore. So all of these things. And then if you check other people, people were afraid. Churches was on lockdown. Even your closest friend and buddy, you couldn't hang out because there was fear and all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, could God be punishing the world? What is God?
What is God? I know, right? I'm sure a lot of faith-based, Christians felt that same way. I know I did. I was like, it's happening. It is.
Yeah. We were like, what's happening? Nobody has seen this before. I've never read about it, but and then I had to, of course, a lot of us started to pray and to fast, because, when things first happen, you just see it as an opportunity to grow, to work on other things. Yeah. So maybe after a week, you start to work on another song. We release a song, hoping that in 2 weeks it'll be over. So after like 2 months, everything starts to slow down, because you see that, well, wait, I think this is real. Yeah. So then I wasn't inspired. I wasn't interested in doing nothing. So I had to go to God in prayer that what's happening. And God started to explain to me that I saw a place in the Bible in Psalms that says that in the volume of the books, it was written of you to do his will. So, and then the Holy Spirit started to interpret that to me, that even these times, Nothing catches God by surprise.
Yeah.
So even these times, God accounted for it. God knew about it before it happened. And so this is also one of the pages of my life that God wrote. You know, we always trust God when everything is going good.
Yeah.
We always think it's God when everything is when the blessings are coming, the positive energy. But in times like these, we feel like it's the devil. But it's everything. It says everything works together for good for those that trust, you know. So it felt like every page. So there's a page 1 where God says, okay, you're getting married. Page 2, a new job. Page 3, and then maybe there's a page 4 where God is saying, now let me see if you can trust me even while you're going through pandemic and all of that.
Look at you preaching right now to us. I hope everyone's receiving this because I know I am. You are preaching right now. It's very true. We got to trust God through the good and the bad times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's pages. That's why it says, okay, pages. This is a page. There's another page coming. There's another page coming. And if you listen to the songs, you would follow. There's a page where you feel like you're forgotten, and then is a reminder that God will never forget you. Yeah. There's another page where you feel like giving up, and then there's a song that says, He wrote the pages of my life. So I know how that story ends. If God wrote that story, it definitely would end good. You know.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to take a quick break, and I want everyone to listen to one of the pages from Jumbo. We'll be right back. You're watching Africa on Demand, your gateway to everything Africa.
You are my shelter. I will dwell in you. You are my healer. Every sickness bound. You are the way. I will never be lost. You're my glory and the leader of my head. Yes, you are my shelter. I will dwell in you. You are my healer. Every sickness bound. Father, you are my strength. Ever present help. You're my glory and the lifter of my head. I can do anything through. Yes, I can do anything. I'm undefeated, unforsaken. Yeah, with the power in His name. Christ.
And we are back. If you are just joining us, I am here with Jumbo the artist, and we've been talking about his new project, Pages, and the journey to get there, and just, you know, what you've been working on now and what people should expect. I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. And you know, I want to kind of shift a little bit to talk about some of your collaborations. I know you've worked with different people, but in your own everyday, what kind of music, which artists do you listen to outside of your own work?
Well, see, I listen to different artists because I like to expose myself to different varieties of music.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite legend is Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I still listen to Stevie Wonder. I listen to Kimberell. I listen to Senach. Of course, my friend, I listen to Nathaniel Bassi. I listen to Maverick City, my friends too there, and just anybody that I listen to good music, people that they inspire me. So yeah.
So if you were to pick someone that you have not worked with yet that you would love to collaborate with, who comes to mind? And it could be more than one person, but who comes to mind?
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie. We need you to collaborate with Jumbo.
No, I'll say like he can't die until I've worked with him.
Okay.
I don't care how old.
Stevie.
120, 130.
We're going to speak it into existence. We're going to speak it into existence for you. That's amazing. What about him really inspires you?
Oh man, just the way that he turned what is supposed to be negative. He cannot see with his eye, but when you listen to him, you don't even know that he's blind. Like how he's able to turn that into a genius lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then when you see him on the piano, he's better than a lot of people that with eyes. If he plays the harmonica, he's good. And the way he writes, his ear, oh my God, everything about him is just amazing to me.
As you were speaking on that, it really made me think of the whole idea of, we all will face, challenges and troubles and things in life. But when you think you have it bad, there's probably somebody else that has it worse. But there's nothing more, what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing more real than to see someone who is at what we sometimes consider a disadvantage, living their best life. And then it makes you go, what am I complaining about? What do I have to complain? And I think there's so much to be said about that, especially when we're talking about how God works.
Yes.
I haven't shared the story with many people, but through the pandemic, I think we all went through some things. But in hindsight, when I think about what I consider to be challenges that I faced during the pandemic, when I stopped for a minute and just listened to God, I realized that it was probably one of my best years ever.
Wow.
The whole pandemic was literally one of my best years ever. And when I say it, it's because I have to reflect. And in the moment, you sometimes don't see it because you're focusing on everything that was going wrong or everything that you thought was a bad thing. And God was just saying, be patient. I'm working on something for you. And if you realize that I got you, you realize that in the midst of what seems to be chaos, God can still make something beautiful.
You're so right. You're righteous. Because, you're preaching right now. So last year, the pandemic year, when all my events were being canceled, I was like, oh my God. But when I look back, by December, when I look back at the blessings, it was maybe times 4 what I would have had in those times. So I was like, because there were some days that I had 2-3 events from my house on Zoom, and it was just an amazing. I was at some point, in the beginning, I was disappointed, I was fearful, I was discouraged that, man, this was supposed to be.
Because we're human, right? We're gonna go through those emotions.
Oh,
we all
yes.
will.
We went through so much emotions but then when I look back at what God did and the open doors, I even had different videos of mine that went viral during the pandemic. I was like, okay, maybe the pandemic was made to work for me.
Right?
Hallelujah.
Because now you're streaming on so many platforms to so many people at the same time, and you don't have to leave my
house.
home.
And I got to spend time with my family, something I've not done in a long time, always on the road, traveling here and there. But this time I was stuck with them for months.
Stuck in a good way.
In a good well, I'm not gonna go there. It wasn't a good
Look, I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. I was stuck with, of course, I love my family, the best people ever.
No, that's amazing. And I think it goes back to that whole glass half full versus half empty. It's all about how we look at it. And I think you said, I think I created one of my best works this past year. Just when you thought you couldn't get better, look at you. And so, there's so much about your music that I find to be passionate, and you talk about where you get inspiration from. But when you start, when you finished your last album and you started this one, and now you say you're working on a new one already, who are some of the people you have collaborated with that have really helped to inspire the projects that you've put out?
Well, I've collaborated with, Jonathan Nelson.
Okay.
People like I grew up watching them and being inspired by them, and then to now be on the same song with them was another wonderful, beautiful experience. Of course, Nathaniel, we grew up together, we practiced together, and we're just at different place in different countries, just doing great things. Osby Berry, Timothy Reddick. I mean, I don't even know how many. I mean, I don't remember it, but these people have challenged me and inspired me also. And even the other artists that their names are not even popular, just the way how passionate they are and they approach their music also inspires me. So it's not just, I'm not just excited when I'm working with the big names. I'm also very, very excited when I work with people that someone that people may not really know for now. Yeah.
You give a lot of those people exposure on your platform. I saw that through the making of your album. I think that's just so wonderful. And
yes.
I admire the fact that you're using your talent and your gifts to do something amazing with your voice and then sharing that. And I'm looking forward to the next project that you're going to work on. And I'm looking forward to coming to see you live somewhere when we can all be in
together again.
But if not, hey, there's the beauty of technology.
Yes.
So where can people find your music? I know you're on like literally every single platform that I can think about, but I want you to tell people where they can go and find out about your music, how they can follow you, or even maybe just, if they're interested in working on one of your projects. I would love for you to share that.
Man, I'm always open to new ideas. So let me just put this there. Let me put this out there. If you have an idea, you feel like there's something I can learn, hit me up on my IG at Jumbo Aniebiet. So you can find my music, you can find my project on anywhere music is sold, iTunes, Boomplay, wherever music is sold. And then you can go on Google, Jumbo Anie, J Jungle, U umbrella, M mango, B boy, O orange, A apple, N Nancy.
Don't worry, we're gonna put it on the screen.
We're gonna put it up there. So
it's all right there for them.
You're gonna find me. And if you're interested in knowing what next, when next I'm having a concert or want to come see me live, follow me on IG. Yeah. It's gonna be on there. So follow me on IG and you see what I'm up to every day, every morning, every afternoon, evening, night. Anytime. Well, Jumbo, there's two things that I would like to do before we wrap up, okay? One is going to be putting you on the spot because that's what I've been doing with all of my guests as of late. But, I would love for you to, while on live, bless us with a little bit of one of the songs from your album. Oh, wow. Okay.
Look at you. You were already ready. You were
There's a very distuned piano in front of me, but I'll just I'm gonna sing one of the lines from one of the verses from the Pages album, the song Pages. So, you told me not to worry when life seemed uncertain, that you will always be right there. You wrote the pages of my life. Yes, you wrote the pages of my life. So I will hold on to your word, and I will worship you alone. Yes, you are good, no doubt about it. Yes, you wrote the pages of my life. You wrote the pages of my life.
Yes, Jumbo, I love it. Look, I was hoping that would be the one because I love that, and so many songs that you've created. And please make sure you guys go out and follow Jumbo on all the social media platforms. We're going to put them here for you to see. I always love having you on the show, and I can't wait to see you in concert. Now, I'm going to wrap with a little thing that I felt was a blessing for me through the pandemic. It's a game that I created called Pigeon Game.
Pigeon Game. Oh.
Pigeon Game. I'm going to put you on the spot. That's the pigeon game. So we're going to see how good your pigeon is.
Okay.
How good is your pigeon? So I'm going to give you, let's say 2 or 3 cards and see if you could figure out what the acronym means, right? So there's going to be letters and I'm going to give you some clues, and you have to figure out what those clues are. But it's something that we would say from the West African culture when it comes to how we speak Pidgin. Okay?
Broken English.
English. There you go. Broken English. All right. And sometimes it's not even broken, right? It's just the way.
Yeah, I know. It's just the way we say it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to bring out your inner, Nigerian. You ready? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Right. So this is, can you see it?
Yeah, FBNP.
There you go. This is something that you say to a guy that is nice looking, or maybe they're dressed up and they look really nice, and you say,
FBNP.
when somebody looks really nice, you say they're very, very, you say this to a guy, but there's also a version that you can say to a girl. Okay, so I'm going to help
fly.
you out. Wait, what'd you say?
Hot fly.
Not fly, but when somebody looks really nice, they're very.
You bang.
No, it has to start with an F.
Oh God, I don't.
When something is very nice, someone looks nice, you say, you're a.
Fine. You
fine.
Fresh.
No,
fresh.
You're fine.
Fine man, fine guy.
No, it's
fine boy.
Fine
boy, no pimples.
Fine boy, no pimples. See, you're getting there. Okay.
No
there's some music ones in here too. Okay, so I'll give you this one. Now, this one is artist. It's an artist. He's one of the top 3, I would say, right now when it comes to Nigerian music out there, popular music.
Techno, no.
No,
Tech.
Let me see. When you think about money, when you have a lot of this in your bank.
Daffodil.
Okay, thank you. So this is a line from one of his songs.
Oh my God. That's gonna be hard.
Think of money and a lot of it, not millions, but not millions. What's after millions?
Billion. I know there's something that he says, the billion.
Not one.
30 billion. 30 billion for the account. 30 billion for the account. Oh.
There you go. I pray that you will have 30 billion in your account.
Amen.
Thank you for playing the game with me. Thanks for being on Africa in Demand. And again, I wish you all the best, and we cannot wait to hear more from you. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for watching Africa in Demand, your gateway to everything Africa. We'll see you next time. Africa in Demand, your gateway to everything Africa.